Hello, sorry about that. I went live very, very briefly. Mainly because my head wasn't very clear. Mainly because everything is an absolute mess at this second. I'm not going to bring the comments up because I don't want to just chat about this for the next don't know how long. Because right now, I am sad. I'll be honest. I'm very, very, very sad. I am very, very nervous. I am disappointed. I feel genuinely betrayed as a Manchester City fan. I feel a bit sick to my stomach. And I feel like the game that I know and love, that I've spent this club following this amount of time, is genuinely drifting away from me, and I am concerned, and I'm disappointed, and I'm ashamed of this club. This club has not been perfect. It never has been perfect, but this is a step too far for me. This does make me feel queasy, and I'm in a weird position to say this. I'm a Manchester City fan channel. I've worked with the club before directly, as you probably know, and I guess I do this for a living. I talk about Manchester City Football Club, but right now I feel mortified. I feel fucking ashamed. I feel embarrassed. I feel queasy. I feel concerned, and it's because football as we know it, it's changing, and it's changing for the worse in an incredibly, incredibly bad way. Now, I'll run through the Super League statement. It's just been released 5 minutes ago as I'm talking about this. I'll read through it now. It says 12 of Europe's leading football clubs have today come together to announce they've agreed to establish a new midweek competition, the Super League, governed by its founding clubs AC Milan, Arsenal, Atletico de Madrid, Chelsea, Barcelona, Inter, Juventus, Liverpool, Manchester City, Man United, Real Madrid and Tottenham Hotspur have all joined as founding clubs. It's anticipated that a further 3 clubs will join ahead of the inaugural season, which is intended to commence as soon as practicable. Going forward, the founding clubs will look forward to holding discussions with UEFA and FIFA to work together in partnership to deliver the best outcomes for the new league and football as a whole. The formation of the Super League comes at a time when the global pandemic has accelerated instability. You fucking cunts. Fuck you. I'm sorry. How dare they, genuinely, how dare they drop this pandemic stuff in? It's all about money. Absolutely all about money from some of the richest clubs in the world. And they're dropping the pandemic in about their revenues. I'm sorry. Piss off. Just piss off. Anyway, further, for a number of years, the founding clubs have had the objective of improving the quality intensity of existing European competitions throughout each season and creating a format for top clubs and players to compete on a regular basis. The pandemic has shown that a strategic vision and a sustainable commercial approach are required to enhance value and support the benefit for the benefit of the entire European football pyramid. In recent months, extensive dialogue has taken place with football stakeholders regarding the future format of European competitions. The founding clubs, fuck off the founding clubs, arrogant pricks, believe the solutions proposed following these talks do not solve fundamental issues, including the need to provide higher quality matches and additional financial resource for the overall football pyramid. I'll believe that when I see it. The format will be 20 participating clubs with 15 founding clubs and a qualifying mechanism for a further 5 teams to qualify annually based on achievements in the prior season. Midweek fixtures with all participating clubs continuing to compete in their respective national leagues, preserving the traditional domestic match calendar, which remains at the heart of the club game. An August start with clubs participating in 2 groups of 10, playing home and away fixtures with the top 3 in each group automatically qualifying for the quarterfinals. Teams finishing 4th and 5th will then compete in a 2-legged playoff for the remaining quarterfinal positions. A 2-legged knockout format will be used to reach the final at the end of May, which will be staged as a single fixture at a neutral venue. They can go fuck themselves. I can't even be arsed reading it anymore. It's all them kissing their asses, or Glazer talking about this. Glazer saying, by bringing together the world's greatest clubs and players to play each throughout the season, the Super League will open a new chapter for European football, ensuring world-class competition facilities, increased financial support for the wider football pyramid. It can get to fuck. I'm sorry, it can genuinely get to fuck. My instant reaction to this as a fan is I feel utterly let down. I'm sorry, this commercialization. Football was already expensive. Football was already commercialized to the high heavens, but this is franchisation of European football. This rips out the identity and the heart of localized, what it means to be a Manchester City fan, what it means to be a local supporter, what it means to have this identity in this club, this footballing identity in general. I'm just livid. I'm sorry. This idea of a closed hierarchy where certain clubs just because they've got the most money and revenue, get to sit there at the top of the European table and play these teams every single week. I mean, it doesn't mean anything to anyone. It's fucking useless. It's not a meritocracy. It's there entirely for revenue and no other reason. It's absolutely, utterly without merit. It's absolutely tasteless. It's absolutely crass and cheap and puerile. And I'm sorry, I'm embarrassed that my club are actually involved in this, because this is just the first step. Don't be naive about this. I'm sorry, but this is the first step to the Premier League that we know and love, and all this kind of stuff changing exponentially, and it absolutely damages the local leagues, and it damages the Premier League, and it damages what these clubs mean to us in a way that I don't think we can even begin to comprehend yet. We cannot put into words just how bad this is going to be, and I'm fucking ashamed. I'm genuinely ashamed by our club. I'm genuinely ashamed that we're sat there just towing the line behind the likes of Joe Glazer. Absolutely cowardly. I'm sorry, genuinely. It's unbelievably cynical. It's cynical. And I don't really buy this idea of excusing Manchester City either. But if they didn't do anything, maybe if we didn't follow it, we would, we'd be left behind. Well, fucking stay behind then. I'm sorry. Sometimes things are more important than a little bit of money. You're still an awfully rich club, a bit of integrity is more important. I would rather be in League Two than playing this competition. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'd rather have the values knowing that it's a competition fair and equal with everyone, instead of locking ourselves off in some bullshit MLS-style franchise where it doesn't matter, there is no consequence, and we play the same games on repeat ad nauseum until we all die. What is the point of that? I'm sorry, but if you're excited by this, you are everything that's wrong with football, and I maintain that. And I don't give a care who's watching. This is nothing more than a bunch of pre-season friendlies. This is just genuinely exhibition games over the course of a season, which will get in the way of football as we know it, and it will rip the competitive nature out, and it will rip the heart out of football. And that's all it is. It's the Audi Cup over the course of a season. It doesn't mean anything to anyone. I'll get Manchester City's statement up now. Apparently City have released a statement. Have they posted it? Oh, they haven't posted it on they haven't posted it on Twitter. I wonder why. Because deep down they know exactly what would happen if they did post it on Twitter. You should be ashamed. This is Manchester City's statement. Man City is one of the 12 European football clubs which have come together to announce today that they will establish a new midweek competition, the Super League, governed by... it's the same. It's exactly the same. The statement is exactly the same as I read at the start. Nothing from Soriano, nothing from Sheikh Mansour, nothing from any of them. Fuck them. Honestly, fuck them. A lot of them. I cannot not be dealing with it, because it genuinely is embarrassing. Football is dead. Football was dying anyway. We all know this, and I'm definitely aware that the money in the game, and we've been a part of this. I am not naive enough to not be aware of this. But we cannot deny that this is an attack on the game that we love. Of course it is. And there's much to be said about Gary Neville's rant earlier, and of course there's a level of hypocrisy from Gary Neville given what he does in the game. I'm aware of that, but it doesn't mean what he's saying wasn't true. You can't deny that this is nothing but a money-based decision that will definitely change the shape of European football for years. This will have profound impacts on European competition around it. All these clubs not involved, the likes of Ajax and so on, having to fight to be involved. Who wants to see a European competition? Well, it's not a European competition, by the way, now. It's just called the Super League. So the death of the Champions League, the death of the games. You could laugh and say it's great, but I'm sorry, but people like Lyon will be left behind. Ajax will be left behind. Teams like that, the likes of Porto, Benfica, all these teams, they get 5 games to play for, but otherwise they get this competition no longer against the elite. 5 slots. It's genuinely embarrassing, and it just removes the soul and the competitive nature out of football. And I don't know if I like my club anymore. I don't know if I feel that way. I don't know what's going to happen. But all I know is that there's no way this is a good thing. There is absolutely nothing good about this. And it's sad. It's genuinely sad. I mean, once again, does anyone ever think about what the fans want in this? Of course they fucking don't. And the only way... I don't even know what I'm gonna do anymore. If I'm being totally honest, I might not even be here next year. That's the thing. I don't even know. Maybe I need a job now. That's the thing. Like, the idea I can get behind this, it just feels strange. Football as we know it has changed. The Champions League won't be a thing anymore. And even the Premier League and UEFA have come out and absolutely gone against this. All the leagues have gone against this. And the Premier League have to approve for this to go ahead. And they don't. They will leave the league. That's simple as that. Like, I feel genuinely betrayed. I feel betrayed by this club. Unbelievably betrayed. Very dramatic and reactionary. No, Jack, this game can get to fuck. I'm sorry. I don't want to watch any sport where there is no consequence, where there's 15 clubs who are just there to sit there at the top of the tree forever playing the same games on loop with a bunch of teams you get to be lucky enough to jump in every now and then. It means fuck all, I'm sorry. And that's one thing. If you want to look away from the betrayal of all this, who is excited for a Super League, and why would you be excited for a Super League? Who fucking cares? No one cares about a competition that doesn't exist, that doesn't have any history, that doesn't have any credibility, that people have just bought their way into. It's about as interesting as the MLS. I'm sorry, no one cares about it. So either way, even if you want to watch it, it isn't going to be interesting for a good 10-15 years, because there is literally no interesting stories there. There's no history in that competition. There's no excitement. There's no consequence or anything like that. It's just a bunch of teams existing in this big old circle jerk off where they make an awful lot of money. It's all about money. There's no competition. There is nothing to gain other than performative trophies, all about money. It is literally a bunch of preseason games with absolutely nothing. Genuinely ashamed of this club. And what does it mean for the World Cup as well, man? Even FIFA don't want involved in this. And they've even threatened before that they will ban players involved in this. I don't know what will happen. I don't know if it'll go ahead. It's been announced. But, it's a letter of... what does it say? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But either way, I mean, I could not sit here and pretend anything about this. It feels good. It doesn't feel good. It feels embarrassing. What do I do now, man? What will the channel stay? I don't know. This is my wage. I don't know. Can I do this anymore? Can I feasibly talk about this? I don't even know. It does concern me. We'll see how it plays out. But I feel sick and I feel let down and I feel scared, if I'm being honest. Like, genuinely. Genuinely feel concerned. I feel utterly betrayed. This is the Americanization of football. And it's more damaging than you're probably going to realise. I'm sorry, it really is that bad, unfortunately. There is nothing other than pain coming from this. Genuinely nothing other than pain coming from this. This will have huge impacts on the rest of the clubs. I'd be surprised if Manchester City are in the... I mean, even then, I guess with the Premier League, what's the point? What's the point of the Premier League? We just try and win it. What's the point of... There's no more Champions League slots in the Premier League. Teams can't get into it. Are they going to have more English Premier League teams in there? Of course, they've already 6 in there. Are they really going to make space for one more English club? Probably not. Like, who wants to play? I don't want to fucking play like these teams on loop every single year. I want to play Mönchengladbach. I want to play Porto. I want to play Lyon. You want to play Shakhtar. Shakhtar never again. Who's happy with that? Who's happy with the idea of Shakhtar never, ever again? Like, I'm sorry. I will miss that. And I don't even love the Champions League, but at least it was relatively competitive. At least people had a chance to get into it, even with the seeding. I don't know. It just feels like an absolute kick in the teeth. Genuinely a kick in the teeth. And what I know about football, I have loved football because doesn't mean the PSG game's off. No, of course it doesn't. Nothing changes this season. But I've loved football all my life because what it meant to me and that sense of competitiveness and that feeling that everything mattered. The magic of football was all about those little moments, those upsets and all that kind of stuff. The magic of football was even like, I know it sounds really patronising, but like when you see a club make a relatively decent run late into the... I mean, like, I know it was patronising to Monaco and Ajax because Ajax are a club steeped in history and all that kind of stuff particularly. But we won't see that anymore. We won't see anything like that anymore. What does this say for the players? What does it say for the players? Like, I don't understand. Do they agree with this? I know they'll follow the money, of course, but do they want to be playing in this competition? Do they want to have their places threatened in a potential World Cup? FIFA, even our British government has come against this. The British government, and I do not agree with this government very often, but even they've come out and said it goes against the cultural and local heritage of what these clubs mean. I mean, the identity utterly stripped away, and people think it'll stop at this. It'll stop just at the Premier League. No, it won't. It'll be an actual European league before we know it. It will get worse and worse every single year, and of course it will. Don't be fucking naive. It's a downward slope, a slippy slope, and it'll get worse and worse and worse. I'm looking to see news about it. FIFA has disapproved the European Super League. This is a breaking news statement right now. FIFA can only express its disapproval to a closed European breakaway league outside of the football structures. That's big. UEFA have done it as well. So this is the FIFA statement. It says, in view of several media requests, as already stated, FIFA wishes to clarify that it stands firm in favour of solidarity in football and an equitable redistribution model which can help develop football as a sport, particularly at a global level, since the development of global football is the primary mission of FIFA. The statement goes on to say, in our view and in accordance with our statutes, any football competition, whether national, regional or global, should always reflect the core principles of solidarity, inclusivity, integrity and equitable financial redistribution. Moreover, the governing bodies of football should employ all lawful, sporting, diplomatic means to ensure this remains the case. Against this backdrop, FIFA can only express its disapproval to a closed European breakaway league outside of the international football structures and not respecting the aforementioned principles. FIFA always stands for unity in world football and calls on all parties involved in heated discussions to engage in calm, constructive and balanced dialogue for the good of the game and in the spirit of solidarity and fair play. FIFA will, of course, do whatever is necessary to contribute to a harmonised way forward in the overall interests of football. It's a rare day when I'm agreeing with FIFA, but we have to agree with FIFA, unfortunately, on this. They are not wrong. They are 100% right on this. Interestingly, FIFA have already threatened players that they won't be involved or eligible for World Cups and other FIFA-affiliated competitions if they join this. I'm sure UEFA will be saying very similar things. The Premier League have already gone against it as well. And if Manchester City don't get the Premier League's approval, they won't be in the Premier League. There's an awful long way for this to go. This could get very painful and very, very messy. But don't make any mistakes. Our club is complicit in this. I don't give a shit if they felt like they had to go along because everyone else is going with it. I'm sorry, because everyone else was doing it doesn't make it right. Manchester City are a very rich club and they should have integrity. There is no integrity in this decision. There is no grace to be had. There is no getting out of this spotlight. They have turned it on themselves and they have to live and deal with this regardless. And I'm sorry. That's it. And Manchester City have tarnished their reputation hugely by this. And I'm absolutely embarrassed and ashamed by this club that I call my own. Genuinely. FIFA, let's see how this goes. But either way, whatever happens, football will be different from this day forward. Be it the Premier League change, be it the Champions League change, be it the Super League actually comes in, who knows? But all I know is this is a bad day for football. Don't really. Some people think it'll be fine, but honestly, no. This is a big fuck you to the fans. Because they know we don't care and want this, by the way. They know the fans don't want this, but they'll do it anyway because we will follow, because we will watch. It is emotional abuse, and I'm sorry, but it is. And that sounds dramatic, but it is. It is. It's playing with our hearts, playing with our loyalty, and selling it to the highest price. And that's all it is. Do not be naive about this. That is entirely all it is at the end of the day. And I am incredibly disappointed. If any Manchester City players watch this, I don't know if they will do or not. But show a little dignity. Say it to your bosses. I don't know what happens now. I don't know. We need to see how this develops. But all I know is I am genuinely very sad. I am very sad about this. I don't even know if I'll be doing this anymore in the future, which is obviously for a double-edged sword for me. According to Sky Italia, the new European Super League could start as soon as this coming August. Wow. That is literally 4 months away. Fuck that, man. Fuck that. Joe Glazer, by bringing together the world's greatest clubs and players to play each other, the Super League will open a new chapter for European football, ensuring world-class competition and facilities and increased financial support for the wider football pyramid. All they are going to do is increase their own revenues in games. Honestly, why does anyone want to watch Man City versus Real Madrid twice a year, every year, forever? Where's the fun in that? Like, especially when it doesn't mean anything. Like, who's excited if we won that league? Oh, yeah. Well done. It doesn't matter if you don't win it. We'll try again next year and try again next year and try again next year. Doesn't matter if we finish bottom. Nothing will happen. We'll try again next year. Doesn't matter. We'll play Arsenal every year. We'll play Spurs every fucking year, twice a year. We'll play Spurs 4 times a year, probably 8 times a year if we get them in the cups as well. Will the domestic cups even exist anymore? I don't know. What I will say, obviously, it's not on the American fans. I know an awful lot of American fans watch this, and I don't blame you for this. I do blame the American owners of these clubs, Kroenke, Glazer, and all that lot. They, of course, massively behind this, and this has been their intention for an awful long time, to close off these clubs, just milk them for every single little penny until they can before it tires and gets old. That's all they were going to ever do, and this is on them. The funny thing is, while all the world was looking at over the clubs in the Middle East and having to go at all the owners in the Middle East, it was the American ones, which no one was asked to buy, that have gone. The American ones that have gone and done this, which is it's funny, isn't it? No one cared about them. No one cared about the Americans, despite them doing much more damage to this game. I don't even know what to say anymore. I don't know what to say. I'm unbelievably disappointed. I'm saddened. I am unbelievably. I feel like honestly the air has been punched out my stomach. It's just utterly concerning. I'm just looking to make sure there's no more breaking news right now, but it's very, 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 very bad. I guarantee as well, I saw someone say this on Twitter, there's no way the Super League final will be in Europe. It won't be. It'll be sold off to the highest bidder in another country, because that's what's going to happen now, and we all know this. It will be. It'll be sold off to another country. Another tweet here. Beautiful irony in the Super League launching on a day Arsenal draw with Fulham, Real Madrid draw with Getafe, and Juventus lose to Atalanta. It's all about becoming the NFL of football, basically. It is that. That's what they want it to be. They don't want it to be what we know and value over in European football and football around the game. They want football to change fundamentally from what it is. It's a showcase. It's just a Harlem Globetrotter. It's basically an insular competition where everyone gets to flex how much money and earn loads of money. No, absolutely. It'd be interesting to see what happens, because obviously all these contracts players have got are ratified by FIFA and UEFA. So they are. So how there's lots and lots and lots of contractual potential ramifications for this as well. I do think this is entirely all about money, and I do think, do any other non-English clubs get into this? Do they? I don't know if they do at all, because, as I said, they've already got 6 in there. 6 out of the 15 founding clubs, the pretentious fuckers. Do they want 7 or 8 in this? Of course they don't, so I don't know how it happens. I'm tired, man. I'm tired of what football is becoming. I'm scared as well, personally. I'm scared. I'll be honest. I'm very scared, and I know this is what I do for a living, and all of a sudden, the club that I love and talk about every single day, I just decided to hate them a little bit, and that makes me worried, and it makes me very scared, and I feel like I'm gonna have to retrain. I feel like I am, and what I will say is absolutely embarrassing that they use the pandemic as an excuse for this. I'm sorry, you fucking snidey bastards. A pandemic that's killed over 3 million people worldwide. People have been made redundant, and these billionaire owner clubs are there saying the pandemic is proof that they need to find a way to maximize revenues. Fuck you. Seriously, fuck you. You snidey, cynical bastards. Absolutely living in their own bubble. As if they can be that tone deaf, as if they cannot read it like this way. Who will I support next? I've never chosen a team before. I've just been a Manchester City fan. I can't choose another team. I can't support anyone else. I just can't. That's not who I am. That's just not who I am. I don't do. I know some people have chosen Manchester City because obviously lifestyle differences and being in different countries, but it's exactly where I am right now. I am a Manchester City fan, and I always will be. Um, but I couldn't possibly ever support anyone else. I couldn't ever possibly support one else. There is going to be loads of lawsuits. There's a few super chats going around, AK saying there'll be loads of lawsuits. There will be. Did Perez just release a statement? I don't know. I'm not so. There's so many statements coming out every few minutes that I don't really know what to say anymore. Man City. Oh yeah, I'm reading and seeing to find any more statements. I'm absolutely devastated. I'm genuinely devastated. Utterly devastated. I'm quite scared as well, if I'm being honest. I know that sounds really weird and melodramatic, but I am genuinely quite scared. Follow esports. I want follow esports, man. I want the real thing. I want competition. I want intensity. I want excitement. I want to feel like I did against Dortmund. And that's it in a nutshell. And I'm sorry, but that is it in a nutshell. I want to feel like I did against Dortmund. I want to feel like I did against Lyon and Spurs. But I want to feel the excitement when you get past Real Madrid. I want to feel that feeling of competition and intensity. I want to watch football because it's fun. I don't want to watch football because we're there, because we are rich and a big club and we just sit there and play the same teams in this endless, tedious carousel of nothingness. I don't want that. I want to be upset as we get knocked out of the Champions League. I want it to actually mean something, man. I genuinely want that. This is not football. This is not football. I'm sorry, but I have been watching Manchester City since I was about 3 or 4 years old in the early 90s, and I've seen City get relegated, and I've seen City get promoted, and then relegated, and promoted, and I've seen us go up and down, and I've seen us be terrible, and I've seen us do incredible things and get very, very, very lucky. But at the same time, this is devastating. This is a blow fundamentally to what I love about this sport. The heart of this sport genuinely being ripped out of it. I don't want to watch City fucking feel like they're there just because they're rich. I don't want City to be there just because they won a few leagues and they'd stay there forever. I don't want that. Who wants that? It's horrible. It's not football. It isn't. And none of it means anything. None of it means anything. And that's the thing. The football will be soulless. It won't mean anything to anyone. There'll be no history to it all. And it's totally different to the Premier League. And it's totally different to the Champions League. Because when the Premier League formed, it still was fundamentally a meritocracy. Clubs were there by merit. There was still promotion. It was still essentially a rebranded version of what went before it. Yes, it was a greedier version, but it was still the same thing. In the Champions League, obviously that was a restructure and reformat, but it was still linked to the European Cup. It was still the same thing. It's why Liverpool fans and all these clubs will talk about their European Cups and include the Champions League, because it was still fundamentally the same competition, just evolved through the years. Even if it was a little bit different and nowhere near as good anymore, it was still the same thing. This isn't that. This is soulless. This is the Nations League. No one cares about it. No one cares about a competition you just plop in front of us and go watch this, everyone. It'll be great fun. There'll be no real champions because everyone gets a chance to win it every single year, really. No one will get relegated. A bunch of 5 teams might try and win the lottery to get into it, but then they'll disappear the next year. There'll be none of that. It'll just be pre-season friendlies every fucking week, while the domestic cup competitions probably die and the Premier League starts to die a little bit, and everyone starts to feel a little bit sad and a little bit down. And I'm sorry, but it's not football. It isn't football. It's just soulless nonsense. And it's sinking into me right now, actually. It's sinking in. And I'm very sad. I'll be honest. I'm very, very sad. I'm very sad. I hope with all the bottom of my heart that it changes. I hope that FIFA and UEFA stand tall and Premier League stand tall and Manchester City realise what they are doing to the fabric of football, and all these clubs do. Fuck those clubs off. Fuck them off. Send them off. Kick them out of the game entirely. I don't give a shit. I don't care. See you later, guys.